So the next point that I want to talk to you about is absolutely crucial that you stop doing this immediately. And that's going to give you an instant boost in your focus and your ability to be more productive. And this is one of my pet peeves. For you and your productivity, being able to focus is absolutely crucial for you to be able to get anything done. And in today's video, I'm going to give you 5 ways that you can really start to maximize your focus and your mental energy on what you're trying to accomplish. So then that way you can actually get things done and start moving the needle in your life and in your business. I mean, just look all around you. It's so hard to get things done and to focus. No wonder people are having difficulty. You have social media messages pinging you in the background with notifications. You have emails dinging, people keeping emails up and having emails dinging you every few minutes. You have phone calls of people calling you. You have people that are coming into your office interrupting you. You have music playing in the background, whether that's at your home, in your office, or even while you're driving. Right now, as a society, we have too much distractions going on, which are external distractions. But at the same time, what I'm going to start off with right now is talking to you about internal distractions. And these are extremely powerful and something that you really need to identify, because once you start understanding these internal distractions that are happening to you inside, which are preventing you from being able to focus, then that's when you're going to really start being able to take control. That's when you're really to start being more productive and to start being able to focus and getting things done. And like I said, move the needle forward for your life and in your business as well. So let's start talking about internal distractions. Internal distractions are things that are happening inside of you. As a human being, it's in your nature. Your brain wants you to be as comfortable or as safe as possible to avoid any type of discomfort. So this is where internal distractions really start to come into play. Oftentimes you can't really focus on what you're doing because you really don't care about what you're doing. And when you don't care about it, it's really hard to stay engaged because you're going to have so much willpower, and after a while, that willpower is going to start to fade. So it's really important to battle the internal distractions, that you have a really strong why. For whatever you're doing, you need to know why you're doing it. What's your greater purpose for accomplishing what it is that you're having in front of you, whether it's mowing the lawn or creating a PowerPoint presentation for your work, whatever the case may be. You really need to have a strong why, because that's what's going to be able to allow you to beat the internal distractions and can allow you to continue to moving forward, to getting the task done, to getting the project done. So like I said, your brain and your mind is designed to help you avoid discomfort. And when you're doing any type of work, for example, you're obviously not really having any discomfort or any pain from it, but your mind thinks that you are. And what's going to try to get you to do is to go seek something that's more interesting or more fun, and something that you're not having to expel both physical and mental energy trying to do. So you're going to have to understand that you're going to have to fight these urges. You're going to get these urges, and you're going to have to understand what they are and why they're happening. And this point is very, very crucial, because now that you have the ammunition to know that you're going to get these type of urges and that you're going to have to sit there and fight them, you're going to have to understand now, and you're going to be able to see, you're going to be in a lot better position to stay focused and get things done moving forward. So we've become more wired to seek instant gratification. And that's why our internal focus is so hard to fight against, because we're continually striving and trying to fight against these urges that are keeping us away from what we know we need to be doing. So you'll often find yourself working away, and then within a few minutes, you want to go check something on Amazon, go check your email, go check a website. You start jumping onto Instagram to check how many likes you got on your last post. And you're like, okay, I'm just going to do one quick thing, just check how many likes I got. But then you find yourself going down the rabbit hole, and you start spending more and more time on Instagram. And then you find out that you've been spending 15 minutes on Instagram when you know you should have been doing this report or whatnot that you have in front of you. So your why is very important. It's very crucial, because that's what's going to help you get through your internal distractions. You have to say to yourself, you know what? I need to get this project done. I need to create this YouTube video because it's going to help me in my future. Whatever I'm doing right now is extremely beneficial, and whatever I'm having the urge to do instead, you know what? I'm going to put that on the side. If I get a thought of, you know what, let me just go check that camera price of a new camera on Amazon. One of the best things that you can do is, you know what, get it out of your mind and onto paper. That way you can come back to it later on and deal with it when you're obviously have some free time, or you're not obviously intensely doing what you need to and you should be doing right then and there in front of you. So for example, if you get this urge to do something else, or you say, oh, you know what, I need to actually go pick up grapes at the grocery store. Get it out of your head right away, put it on paper, and then get back to what you're doing. Have that pen and paper beside you, put it down. I need to go get grapes from the grocery store. Get back to your work. And then at least you know now you're comfortable because you've not having to forget what this important thing that you need to do is. You have it on paper, you can get back to it at a later time, and then you can continue to focus and continue that momentum through getting and battling through any of these urges and getting your focus back on your job and task at hand. Point number 2 that you really need to pay attention to is that you always have to have a plan. We lose focus because oftentimes we don't have a plan. And that really leads to what I said in the previous point about internal distractions. If you do not have a plan, you're not going to be able to go where you need to go. A ship can't go where it needs to go without a heading. Obviously, a plane needs to know what airport it needs to land at. You don't just jump in your car and start driving aimlessly without needing or knowing where you're going to be going. And that's why it's really important to always focus on your North Star. Your North Star is going to keep you grounded, it's going to keep you guided, and it's going to keep you on track to be able to continue to go where you need to go and to get you focused on what you need to work on, whether it's personal, whether it's work related, so you can continue to stay focused and get that task actually done. Because the worst thing that you can do is start working on something, get distracted, lose focus, and then end up with all of these half-finished projects. That's something I struggled with, for such a long time. And all of a sudden I would realize that I have all these unfinished projects. And then I would say to myself, no wonder I'm not getting anywhere in life and in business, because I get started on something, but then I can't finish that task or that project that I'm working on. And having these unfinished projects is the same as being at zero. Because until it's at 100%, you can't sell it to the marketplace. You can't share that blog post. You can't give that gift to somebody, whatever the case may be. So find out what it is that you want to accomplish and then work your way backwards. Set that plan. Have your North Star as your focus, your ultimate focus of your destination and your goal of where you want to reach to, and then work your way backwards. What are the tasks that I need to do to accomplish that? And in order to stay focused, you need to just focus on that one small task at one time. What's the littlest denominator that you can break it down to, and then just focus on doing that one little thing. Take those baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. Then you're going to find that you have this momentum going forward, and then you're going to find yourself actually creating so much momentum that you're actually getting closer to your goal and your task, and that's going to allow you to stay focused, to be able to continue to get ahead, to get to where you need to go, and to complete the task or the project at hand. So the next point I want to touch on is what most people struggle with, and that's external distractions. It's so crucial that if you're trying to do any type of good productive work, that you cut out absolutely all external distractions, because it's absolutely detrimental to your focus and the momentum that you have. Every time an email goes off or a notification comes in on your phone, or somebody walks into your office, you get a phone call, those external distractions, what they do is they derail you from your deep work. And once you break that momentum, it's so much harder. And depending on how long that distraction lasts, it's going to take you much longer to get back into the momentum and into the deep work that you were doing before that distraction happened. So for example, if I'm working on an ebook and I'm just getting started and I'm 15 minutes into it, but all of a sudden my phone rings and I take that call and the phone call lasts about 5-10 minutes. Then what happens is when I try to revert my mind back onto the ebook that I was working on, it's going to take me a little bit of time before I get those juices pumping again, before I get back into that sort of mental focus and that sort of creative juices to be able to continue doing what I was doing. So every time you have a distraction, it derails you temporarily from continuing on with that momentum that you had before the external distraction happened. And if you really want to get things done, you really need to start working on your focus, because this is what I talk about with deep work. When you are working for hours on end on the one thing that's going to move the needle in your life and business, and you can start doing that without interruptions, and you get into this deep work state, you can get so much done. Your productivity will increase. You'll have so much momentum. You'll feel so good about what you've been able to accomplish. And that will just create an amazing loop where you keep having that momentum carry you forward, and that snowball is going to keep getting bigger and bigger. So the next point that I want to talk to you about is absolutely crucial that you stop doing this immediately, And that's going to give you an instant boost in your focus and your ability to be more productive. And this is one of my pet peeves, and that is multitasking. I can assure you right now that multitasking is an absolute myth. I'm not sure when or how multitasking became such a wonderful thing that people bragged about on their resume as being able to do. But multitasking, or your thought of you needing to multitask, is going to absolutely derail any type of momentum or productivity that you're going to have in your life for your business. Multitasking is an absolute myth. Your brain can only focus on one thing at a time. This is why, I'll give you an example. When you're driving and you obviously look at your phone, and this is why a lot of cities eliminated or made it illegal for distracted driving when you're driving and you're using your phone at the same time, is because after a few seconds, your brain goes into that focus mode of what you're doing on the phone, and you completely blank out of the road and what you're doing and where you're going in front of you. And that is absolutely extremely serious, because that could cause an accident, that could cause major problems. So here's a little bit of an experiment or a test that you can run by yourself right now, just to show you and to prove to you that multitasking is going to actually take you a lot longer to do things and is not efficient whatsoever. So I want you to take a pencil and paper, and I want you to obviously jot down the letters of the alphabet, okay? From A to Z, and then from 1 to 26. There's 26 letters in the alphabet. So from there, I want you just in step number 1, okay, this is what I want you to do. I want you to actually start writing the letter A. And now you have to time yourself, obviously. Write the letter A, and then write the number 1 after that. And then write B, and then write 2. And then write C, and then write 3. And then write D, and then write 4. Continue that and time yourself and see how long that takes. You have to obviously alternate between letter, number, letter, number, letter, number. And you're going to go through this for all the 26 letters and all the 26 numbers, but they're going to be obviously intertwined. Then I want you to record that time. From there, what I want you to do next is then I want you to take that same piece of paper, and in a different section, I want you to be able to, again, time yourself, but this time go from A to Z. And after that, when you're done all the letters, then jump to the numbers and go 1 to 26. And then record your time. And you're going to notice that you're going to have a faster time when you did the second part of it, which was going all the letters first and then all the numbers after that together, instead of doing it the first way that you did it when it was intertwined. And the reason for that is exactly what I just said about you doing something like creating an ebook, and then you get a phone call right away, okay, after that, within a few minutes or whatnot. It's going to take your brain a while to acclimatize back to what you were doing originally. There's that delay period. And what happens is when you go letter, number, you're breaking your concentration, you're breaking your focus, you're breaking the momentum. And it's going to take your brain a little bit of time to go, okay, so what's the next letter after this letter, after I'm jumping from number back to the letter? But when you do everything, just focus on that one channel, focus on that one thing. You get it done. Then focus on that next task and that next project. You're going to notice you're going to be able to be so much more productive. You're going to have better focus. You're going to be more efficient. And this is another tip that I can give you right now, is why it's so important to chunk your work. Do tasks that are near related to each other. So if you're doing maybe social media marketing, do all your social media tasks together. You know, checking Facebook, maybe posting something on Instagram, checking your Twitter analytics, whatever your case may be, do that sort of all together. Then focus on creative writing. If you need to write a blog post, if you need to write an article, if you need to do some editing, some grammar checking, that's all tasks that are related to each other. Chunk that work. Then, for example, if you need to edit your YouTube video, do your your editing, your post-production all together in chunked format, because then that way your mind is focused on that one task, that one thing, and you keep the momentum going, and you can get into that deep work and get so much done. You got to eliminate multitasking, stop doing it, stop bragging about it, and just focus on one thing at a time, and that's going to get you so much further ahead. So the fifth and final point of this video that I really want you to take note on how you can improve your focus is energy management. Energy management is crucial. I have what I call my Einstein time, and that's usually between 8 a.m. and 12 noon. That's when I'm very productive. I can really get into that deep work. I have the most mental energy, and I can really focus on high mental tasks that require the most amount of mental energy. So what you want to do, if you really want to be focused, is block all your tasks and your projects that require your most mental energy into your Einstein time. Focus on when you have the most energy to do things that require the most amount of mental energy, because for most of us, it might be in the morning and then early afternoon. And then as the day goes on, we start to lose the points in the bucket and our mental energy starts to wane and starts to deplete. We start with 100 points in our bucket in the morning time when we wake up with our energy, but as the day goes on, we start losing that energy. So what you want to do is you want to have and plan for your most mentally focused type of work to be closer to when you have the most mental energy. And only you know that. That could be different for a lot of people. Like I said, for me, it's between 8 a.m. and 12 noon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But for you, it could be later on in the daytime as well. So you need to know that. So what I do, for example, if I need to write a blog post and I really need that mental energy, well, that's going to be done in the morning time because I know that's when my sort of Einstein time is. But stuff that I don't really need too much mental energy for, like for example, checking email, that's not really something that's really mentally intensive compared to having to create a blog post or having to create graphics for a banner or a banner ad or a Facebook ad. That stuff I'm going to do when I have the most mental energy. But stuff later in the day, I'm going to move and put, like checking email, that really doesn't need some extreme creative, which is more on autopilot. That stuff I'm going to save to periods in the day when I don't need that mental energy. So one other tip and final tip here, obviously for you, is focus on your mental energy, and that's going to give you focus to be able to accomplish what you want to do throughout your day. So I hope you got a ton of value out of today's video. If you did, leave a like. If you have any questions, please put down your comments in the comment section down below, and make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell as I'm dropping pure value content for you guys on confidence training, mindset training, productivity, time management, time protection, habits. There's going to be a ton of value for you coming down the pipe on the YouTube channel. I'm super excited to bring a ton more content your way. And thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.